and what are some of the key roles you see, and what kind of roles, what kind of responsibility or impact they're making to your product org?
Yeah, I'll tell you about the product org. Maybe I've done this is my 6th time, and so some of the critical, you need some things you need to be great at product outside of good product managers. I think there's a couple things to think about. I feel like there's not enough writing and thinking around product manager personas. And if you really want a great world-class product org at scale, you're going to need different personas of product people. I've been meaning, some people have tried to write this post. I haven't seen anything great, but I can rattle off a few major personas. You're going to need technical product managers. And some people even make that a separate work track or a separate job type. I don't personally. I prefer it to be just a product manager who happens to be a former engineer who's very technical, but you will need this skill set, like hands down. You will need the technical product manager who can see the whole system and define a roadmap for a platform or component team that like unlocks large amounts of value for the rest of your organization. You will fail if you don't have that role. Another type of role, you're going to need some type of growth product manager, someone who's hardwired for like acquisition, activation. Yeah, technical product manager or platform product manager. You'll need that category of product management. You will need growth product managers because growth is oxygen for a company. If you're not growing on the internet, you're dying. There is no middle ground. And so you need a cohort in your product org that are, effectively like growers. And then there's like optimizers or design thinker type product managers, right? Because if you have a large enough product surface area, somebody needs to care deeply about how all of this plays together in a holistic picture. So like that's a category of product management. And these are so different from each other. It's amazing that they're all called product managers because it's almost like chess and volleyball. Like the skills you need to do these things are like 90% different other than the parts of like evangelism or stakeholder management. But other than that, the job is completely different. And working with engineers, of course. So I always feel like there's not enough thought put into that. But I have 7 personas I manage too. I'm not going to go through them all here based on time, but you need all those personas of product managers. The other thing you need, I'm a big proponent of product ops. I feel like there is a process and a system for discovering new products and for discovering how to incrementally add value and placing big long-term bets. And I think product ops plays a critical role in that. Back to our portfolio management, anybody who manages a scaled product organization realizes pretty quickly there is no one process for this. And so if you think you're going to roll out a process that everybody has to follow, I think you're going to learn pretty quick that you're going to stifle some types of product work while you might be helping others. And so I feel like the bigger orgs I've managed, like right now there's about 100 product teams at Procore. The bigger orgs you manage, the more you realize you have to create a system that is flexible enough to allow for different types of work. For example, if you're a deep platform technology team, you need a pretty crisp roadmap for like multiple quarters. And the reason why is because others depend on you. And so you can't just be like, I'm just going to iterate. I know what's happening next sprint and I don't know anything else. Like, sorry, it's not going to work. Like you're going to need to deeply articulate what you're doing over multiple quarters so that others can build on top of your platform component. And on the flip side of that, if you're at a 0 to 1 product where you have no idea, there's high risk, there's high uncertainty, there's not a lot of competitors out there for you to study, you're like open in white space. Well, gosh, I sure hope you don't ask them to do like 4-quarter planning because that's stupid. Right. They should literally only plan like a week at a time because there's so much unknown. Right. And so the head of product, how are you going to create a system for managing different types of bets and having accountability and empowering folks? And that's why there isn't one system, there's multiple systems, and there needs to be a flexibility there for different types of bets. So when you ask about key roles, product ops helps do that. Product ops helps systematize and identify bets and then apply different processes and different thinking to those bets. And I think that's so important in a growing, innovative company.